I wanted to bring up the current events like the war in Iran.
Okay.
And I just want to ask, what are your thoughts on that? Because it's been a very polarizing issue, I'd say.
I don't see why it's polarizing. Let me tell you why I don't see why it's polarizing. I came on active duty 7 days after the Beirut barracks bombing, October the 23rd of 1983, a week after I signed into active duty at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. When I was a battalion commander in Iraq, we had to deal with Iranian agents who were trying to undermine our efforts. And it wasn't too long after that, the explosive force penetrator, a very violent IED, improvised explosive device, started to inflict incredible maimings and death upon our troops, not just in Iraq, but also in Afghanistan. I was there in Afghanistan for 2.5 years as an advisor to the Afghan army. For 47 years, Iran has been a thorn in the side, killing Americans and attacking Americans. When people say death to America, you should believe them and you should crush them. What did Ronald Reagan do when the Iranians damaged a United States naval warship? He freaking sank their navy and he blew up oil platforms. Some people in the world only understand strength and might. And I find it absolutely unconscionable that here we are, it's not even a month. And we're like little kids sitting in the back of the car on a road trip saying, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? See, what happens if you base your foreign policy and national security strategy on election cycles and based upon weeks and months, you give an advantage to your enemy because they deal in 50-year and 100-year cycles. Jimmy Carter screwed up in allowing the Ayatollah to come into power. Barack Obama screwed up. And Joe Biden screwed up. $17.7 billion we sent to the #1 state sponsor of Islamic terrorism. The Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, known as the Iranian Nuclear Agreement, this is a theocratic political system. And as a theocracy, they believe in the return of what is called the hidden imam, the 12th imam, the Mahdi. And how does the Mahdi come back? How do they usher in global domination of Islam? By way of a catastrophic event. And oh, by the way, those ICBMs that they shot at Diego Garcia that they said they didn't have, that's why they got to go. I'm sorry. I kind of get a little upset dealing with people that used to shoot at me. Okay. They need to get their asses kicked. Okay.
And my question for you is, how in America do we best combat the Mohammedans when they breed at such high levels and they know their objective of to overthrow the West?
You know, what this young man just brought up something. You know, if you go back and you study history, remember that the Islamic invasion of Europe's 732 AD, Charles the Hammer Martel defeated them at the Battle of Tours. 1571, the Christian fleet, the Holy League fleet, defeated the invading Muslim navy at the Battle of Lepanto. We know about what happened in 1683 at the gates of Vienna. Now look at what the United Kingdom looks like. Look at what France looks like without firing a single shot. Al-Hijra, you know what that means? It means migration. See, the Islamic calendar does not begin when the first convert or when Islam first started, which was 610 AD in Mecca. The Islamic calendar begins after Muhammad made his hijrah from Mecca to Medina, and the violence started from 6822 on. So what is happening today is that they realize by way of al-hijra, migration, that they can come into Western civilization, masquerade themselves as a religion. It ain't a religion. Okay? Show me a religion that says that you should go out and take sex slaves of women after you've conquered them. Or some of the verses that I just read here. So their principle is first migration, population, agitation, then domination. Those are 4 phases. Now ask yourself, where are we in the United States of America in those 4 phases? That's why you got to stop this. You know, a retired Army Lieutenant Colonel by the name of Brandon Shaw went back to his alma mater at Old Dominion University to teach Army ROTC. He was shot and killed while teaching Army ROTC by an individual who has sworn allegiance to ISIS. And somebody, again, with a stuck-on stupid card, released that individual early, quote-unquote supervised release. A felon, a naturalized citizen from Sierra Leone. They did not denaturalize him and deport him back. Somehow he ended up being able to purchase a weapon. He walked into on that college campus, into that room, and shot Brandon Shaw. But thank God that those Army ROTC cadets do what they're supposed to do. and they beat him down and they killed him. This is what we are confronting. And if we don't understand what phase that we're in, because you look at the United Kingdom, they're almost in phase 4. Where are we? When it comes to migrate, populate, agitate, dominate, we got to stop it. It's not a religion. It's a totalitarian, theocratic political system that is rooted in tyranny. And it says you either convert, you subjugate, or you die. That's in their own words. Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are for the first time, believe them. Thank you. The other ism that confronts us and our freedom here in the United States of America is Islamism. And remember the author of the Declaration of Independence, folks will always say, well, Thomas Jefferson had a Quran. There was a reason why Thomas Jefferson had a Quran. It's because of some fellas by the name called the Barbary Pirates. And he wanted to understand what was the whole deal behind this ideology. When he sent a letter to the Dey of Algiers saying, hey, guy, knock it off. Why you keep attacking our ships? Why you keep taking our people? Why you keep asking for us to pay this ransom? The Dey of Algiers said, because we're commanded to do so by our God. That's a little g God, the Allah fella. Okay, he ain't no real God. And so when Jefferson got his response, and Jefferson read the Quran, he sent his response to the Barbary Pirates. It was called the United States Marines. When you read the Quran, believers take neither the Jews or Christians for your friends. Surah 5:51. Infidels are those who declare God is the Christ, the Son of Mary. Surah 5:17. Infidels are those that say God is one of three in the Trinity. Surah 5:73. Make war on the infidels who dwell around you. Surah 9:123. The infidels are your sworn enemies. Surah 4:101. When you meet the infidel in the battlefield, strike off their heads. Surah 47:4. Where did the Marines get that nickname Leathernecks? Was when they went to fight the Barbary pirates because of that verse right there. And so they wore leather tunics so that they would not have their heads lopped off. We've been dealing with this enemy for quite some time. And what I want to share with you are just a few words. Because back in 1991, a gentleman by the name of Muhammad Akram wrote the Strategic Memorandum, the Exploratory Memorandum of the Muslim Brotherhood, the oldest Islamic terrorist organization founded in 1928 by Hassan al-Banna. He wrote it here in the United States of America in 1991. It was uncovered in 2004 in an FBI raid in Northern Virginia. It was translated and brought forth in 2008 in the largest Islamic terrorist funding case trial, the Holy Land Foundation trial, in the state of Texas. And here's one of the quotes off of page 7. The process of settlement is a civilization jihadist process with all the word means. The Ikhwan, meaning the Muslim Brotherhood, must understand that their work in America is a kind of grand jihad in eliminating and destroying the Western civilization from within and sabotaging its miserable house by their hands and the hands of the believers. That's what's happening here in the United States of America right now. And in the state of Texas just last week, an Obama-appointed federal judge said that the state of Texas must open up taxpayer-funded school education vouchers to Islamic schools so that they can teach those verses that I just repeated to you on our taxpayer dime. This is what we face because the Marxist-Islamists, that red-green alliance that we talk about, they are joined together because they share one thing in common. They hate individual liberty and freedom. They enjoy totalitarianism. They enjoy tyranny. The word Islam itself means submission. In the United States of America, we told the British 250 years ago, we ain't submitting to crap. Or maybe you remember these words from the person that just became the mayor of New York City. Oh, I know. Colonel, why are you going to do that to us? We just ate. Well, you can go get some KO pectate later. But remember what Zohran Mamdani said? We're going to replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism. But see, the thing is that Maya Angelou once said, When people show you who they are for the first time, believe them. These Marxists have been running around. Who'd have thought from 1976 to where we are now, 2026, 50 years, look at what has happened. We got people that are confused about what a man and a woman is, a little boy and a little girl. I mean, some of the most basic things. But what is it all about? It is all about saying that God, this omnipotent, omniscient creator, if he's not smart enough to get man and woman right, if he can't figure out the weather, because man is the one that creates climate change, this is about undermining the very foundation and the fabric of this country. And that's what secular humanists, that's what Marxists do. Remember, Karl Marx once said that religion is the opiate of the masses. Karl Marx was an avowed atheist. That is what we're up against in these United States of America. People that don't see you as an individual, but rather they see you as part of a collective.
If you have a 401k or an IRA, please listen. Gold is at record highs. What many people don't know is this. You can move part of your retirement money legally and without tax penalties into physical gold you actually own. Alpha Omega Gold helps you do this through a gold IRA. Your gold is real. It is stored safely. It is in your name. Learn more at ao.gold/stand. Alpha Omega Gold is our sponsor, and they proudly stand with Israel.